Every single question from today's NFL mailbag comes as part of our live shows. If you want to be a part of these, well, then you got to subscribe. Hit that big red button and join us, or head to youtube.com/chatsportstv so you don't miss a single video here at Chat Sports. First up from Gray Matter Sports, a super chat on the Browns. How about a sign and trade Aaron Rodgers to Cleveland for Baker, Odell Beckham, Olivier Vernon, and a 2023 first-round pick? So, number one issue here is that Vernon is not under contract, so we'll take him off. Baker, OBJ, and a third. It is a valuable offer here from the Browns. In the end, I think Cleveland says no. I think they want Baker to be the guy, and they think he's going to be the guy in the end. So, now, publicly, that's all they're going to say, right? But I think the answer in the end is the Browns do not get Aaron Rodgers. I think it's somebody else. But if you're Cleveland, at least do your due diligence on that front. So thank you for that super chat there, Gray Matter. Hudson is cool. Could Saquon dominate like his rookie season? If the offensive line is better, sure. I think that is possible. I think the biggest boost to Saquon, though, would come with better play from Daniel Jones. If teams don't fear Daniel Jones, it's going to be tough to actually run the football. From unknown Ethan, could Fletcher Cox be traded to the New Orleans Saints? The Saints are very aggressive. They love to make those types of moves. At this point, though, I think both sides would say no. From a trade perspective, it does save the Eagles money, saves them about $15 million this year, helps their cap. But the Saints would owe Fletcher Cox over $16 million in salary this year. They got enough problems cap-wise that I don't think it makes sense for either side. Origo Monger, NFL trade idea. Garoppolo, Brandon Ayuk, and Fred Warner for Aaron Rodgers. Who says no? Simple. The Niners do. They just spent a first-round pick and extra first-round picks on Trey Lance. Makes no sense for them to go get Aaron Rodgers now. That possibility is dead at this point. Now, our goal is to get to 250,000 subscribers here at Chat Sports. We're getting closer and closer every single day. We are less than 3,500 away. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. From Burnin' Spades, our super chat. Thank you, man. Shout out, y'all. Thoughts on the Falcons rookie camp and which UDFAs could make the Falcons' final 53-man roster? Well, remember, in general, there are only good players at Falcons rookie minicamp. Everyone plays great. The one name that I am most intrigued by is probably Javian Hawkins out of Louisville. I think there is a need at the running back spot. I liked Hawkins a pretty good amount. So of those guys, we'll see how, of course, camp ends up going. I think Hawkins makes the most sense. From Matthew, if the Packers trade Rodgers, do they enter a rebuild and fire sale on their players? See, this is a great question, and I like it. Trading away Rodgers does help clear up their cap long term. I think if you're the organization, I don't think you could trade away guys like Jair Alexander and Davante Adams so quickly. I think entering a rebuilding fire sale mode when you just come up with 13-3 year, even if Rodgers isn't there, is kind of stupid. I would give it, at least from an organizational perspective. I get the question though. I think for Seattle or for Green Bay, still trying to win probably ends up making the most sense. Right now, I want you guys to flood the comment section with your answer to this question. Who do you believe is the most overrated NFL team? I know the Cowboys are going to win. They always do. But if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and get your votes in. From Akash, a lot of Steelers fans saying that Najee Harris is going to fix all their running game issues until they build anything to the O-line. Who is right? I think both elements are true here. Najee Harris will make the ground game better. I like the interior offensive line for Pittsburgh. I think it's pretty good. I think Kendrick Green's going to be a good starter. I like their guards. All those things are true. I do, however, still worry about the offensive tackle spot. Harris will have success. It will be better, but it might not be as good as they want it to be. From Izzy World, why are the Eagles trying so hard just to be last place in the division? Well, I mean, what are they going to do? Not try to win football games? Like, they're still going to try to compete because you want to win games. NFL organizations do not tank for them at the beginning of the year in most cases. End of the year, different conversation. But they want to see if Hurts can be the guy, because ideally, Hurts takes a massive step forward, and he's the guy. And we will see if that actually ends up being the case for Philadelphia. From Bobby Ray, Dwayne Haskins is Big Ben's successor. He did sign with them. I don't know how much I'm going to invest in Haskins being the guy. My expectation is that the Big Ben eventual long-term replacement is not on the roster right now. Maybe the release was a wake-up call to Haskins. Otherwise, maybe someone in the draft ends up being the heir to Big Ben. From Rex Pittman, will the Dolphins cut Jakeem Grant after drafting Jalen Waddle? I mean, I don't think a release of Jalen Waddle is good, or release of Jakeem Grant, is going to come through until closer to roster cut time. Yes, they've got plenty of options between Devontae Parker and Fuller and Waddle and Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden playing a hybrid receiver running back role, and Albert Wilson still being there. There's too many bodies for not enough spots. So players will be cut. At his contract cost, I think Jakeem Grant makes sense. But we will see. Maybe Miami thinks Waddle needs more time. If so, Grant might stick around. But I would say closer to the beginning of the finalizing of 53-man rosters, that might be the time frame in which Miami makes a move to move on from Jakeem Grant. Now, the reality is players get cut. We're not like trying to cheer players lose their jobs, but it happens. So name a player that you want your team to cut. Is it a Jakeem Grant from Miami or somebody else altogether? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. From Bill Lambert, I think the Ravens will go after Julio Jones after getting Rashod Bateman in the draft. You know, maybe if you move Marquise Brown as part of the deal, maybe. But if you're going to keep Brown, I think the Ravens will look elsewhere for any potential receiver upgrades or investing that level of draft capital in the end. From NFL boy Brandon, who starts at quarterback for New England, Cam or Mac Jones? Week 1, I'm going to go with Cam Newton. I think Newton gets the first crack. If he starts to struggle, it's Mac Jones. And I think we'll know based on what style of offense the Patriots begin to utilize early this offseason. If it's more typical drop-back passing, it's Mac Jones. If it's quarterback runs, it's going to be Cam Newton in the end. So we will see on that front what it ends up looking like. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Hit that big red button and join us. That way you don't miss out on any of the awesome videos we have for you guys here at Chat Sports. From Food Review, if you know you're not going to re-sign Gallup halfway through a season, would you trade him at the deadline if you're not around 500? It depends on what I think I can get for him. I think they will be at 500, but if not, I would at least listen to offers on him. Because if I can get close to what I'm going to get in the comp pick process, I would rather trade him. Because that gives me a draft pick sooner and earlier if it's in the same round or near to it. So if those scenarios are hit, you have to at least consider it. Rashard Lee, if the Seahawks don't re-sign Jamal Adams going to go to the Cowboys, probably not. Probably not. Because you know why? The Cowboys don't invest in the safety at that cost. I think it'd be too expensive for them. Because if he hits the open market, he's going to the highest bidder. That's my bet. From Jax the Ripper, does Deshaun Watson get to play this year? And who is the best fit for a guaranteed Super Bowl? Oh, you mean for him to win a Super Bowl. I see what you mean. I think Miami's in the best position Now, will they trade for him? I don't know. As for does he get to play? That's a billion-dollar question. I honestly don't know what the future holds for Deshaun Watson. We'll have to wait and see on that one. From Harrison Graham Burner 69. Wow, what a social plant right there, or a social name in there, excuse me. Do you think Cornell Powell could be the best wideout in this NFL draft? What a fantastic username there. That's so dirty, I love it. Look, no is my real answer here. Like, I think that's asking for quite a bit too much. Like, I don't think that Cornell Powell ends up being the best receiver in this year's class. I can't believe someone made this account. And no, Cornell Powell's not going to be that good. We got to pump the brakes there a little bit, folks. From AJ Evans, is Calvin Ridley a wide receiver 1? It's a good question. I think he could be a wide receiver 1. Contract-wise, he's probably going to get paid like one. From Maurice Mo Cox, will the Falcons be able to afford both Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones? They can if they want. Now, Ridley's going to be expensive. They have other contracts coming through in the not-too-distant future, so they might not want to invest 2 top-end receiver contracts, but they're good football players. In general, you simply pay the good guys. I think, however, Mo Cox, that might be a reason why the Falcons appear to be open to moving on from Julio Jones in a trade. So who do you want long-term? Not right now, let's say 5, 6, or 7 years. Who would you rather have? Get your votes in for me. Type CR for Calvin Ridley or type in JJ for Julio Jones. I mean, I think short-term it's probably still Julio, but Ridley was awesome this past year. I mean, he played really, really well. So get your votes in, CR or JJ. From Packers Goat, I'm a Packers fan. I would not like this trade, but there's rumors about Davante Adams getting traded. Adams is the best receiver in the NFL. A trade idea is Davante Adams to the Chargers for 3 firsts and Mike Williams. So I think the value that you'd be getting, I think you're getting a little bit too much back. I think what will be more likely is 2 first-round picks. That and maybe another pick thrown in there as well or something along those lines. But at that point, it gets you in line with the Jamal Adams, Jalen Ramsey's trade. Good destination. I like putting Mike Williams in there as well. But I think 3 firsts, a little bit too much, as good as Davante Adams is.